Hey, this is Politics with Laura, to where everything is politics. Whether if it's here locally in the US or if it's international, you will get the true news because I use newspapers from around the world. Politicians here or politicians over there, or if there's a war here or a war over there, I would make sure that you know about it. Hey. Look, you can't make this up. Okay, look. One thing about being an employee, you have to be ready for what you're getting ready to do. Look, stay with me. Just stick with me. Just stick with me. I'm going someplace with this. Not many people go into the teaching field, but when they do, they go in for the wrong reasons. And then if they have a passion for teaching, they're like, I want to teach the world. I want to slay the dragon of ignorance. And I'm going to go into this city and I'm going to give people an education. And yeah, until you get there. And then you realize that everything what you thought about teaching, being a teacher, and how you're going to do this and do that, it falls flat in your face. Now, being a teacher, when you learn that you're a glorified babysitter, especially if you go into a place because you're running after money and you have poor classroom management skills and you're stressed out and you put yourself in a position to where you decide that you want to make money, so you go to a big city and you know nothing about the people in which you are teaching. And then you realize, oh, well, I did my 6 weeks of student teaching, so I got. No, you don't. No, you don't. The only thing what you got is information based on a teacher that has been in a classroom for a number of years and has control over her classroom, and gives he or she gives her classroom over to you, walks out, and it's an unrealistic view of what you're going to get into. Yes. So, when this happens, then you completely understand what I'm talking about. Before I go to the article, it's gonna flip your lid. I'm like, I saw this one coming, and I expect to see more of it because one thing that people do not understand, teachers do not understand, is that you are building communities. You are building first. You're building neighborhoods, communities, and also you're building society. When you're in a classroom, and you have to ask yourself, because I tell new teachers in the classroom, at the end of the year, and you look around and you ask yourself, would I want any of these people to be my next door neighbor? If you said no, you failed. You failed because it is your job to make sure that you educate the masses. Okay, said all that. Let me get off my soapbox. Here. Yes, you are looking at this. You're looking at it right. Fifth grade teacher arrested after admitting to act. uh, active kill list of students and staff. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. This teacher had no business in a classroom nor teaching where she was. Because, look, look, she had no business in the classroom or teaching where she was. If you don't understand the population of the people that you are teaching, you have no business being there. You have no business being there, but I digress. Let me get to the. All right. Here, a fifth grade teacher. A fifth grade teacher has been arrested after telling one of her students that she made a kill list with students she taught and her colleagues. Approximately 5 p.m. on Wednesday, officers from the East Chicago Police Department were dispatched to speak with the principal and the assistant principal of St. Stanislaus School, located 20 miles from South Downtown Chicago, in reference to a threatening report that school officials had learned about earlier in the day regarding a fifth grade teacher Angelica Correras Corresquillo Torres, a 25-year-old educator from Griffin, Indiana. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It gets better. This is not better as in that, but at approximately 12:45 p.m., a fifth grade student told his or her counselor that their fifth grade teacher made comments to her about killing herself, students, and staff at St. Stanislaus School. East Chicago Police Department said in a statement released on social media. The teacher further told the student that she had a list and that his or her name was on the bottom of that list. OMG. You can't. Oh, wow. Just imagine. You're like, hey, Mrs. Torres, blah, 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 blah. How are you? Oh, yeah, I got a kill list, and you're on the bottom of the list. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. You can't. Being a teacher, the way society is set up now, because there are some parents who believe that the school system is supposed to raise their children. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Raise their children, and they come from terrible homes. I mean, I was at the point to where I thought that before you had a child, you should at least have an application to apply. But let me digress. Let me back it up. Let me back it up. I'm going to go full fledged Laura, and I want to. Let me back it up. All right. Being a teacher is not easy because there are students, these children come from such terrible backgrounds to where, I think some parents, and I may offend you, and if I offend you, yeah, I'm talking to you. If I, about what I'm getting ready to say, if you're offended, then be a better parent. Teachers have to be secondary parents, brother or sister, a counselor, all these different things. And they only went to school to learn the subject matter in order to teach, to build a better society. But then you have individuals who believe that, okay, I just had this child and let me just drop this child off. And they're your responsibility. You do all these things because the school is supposed to take care of my child. No, 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 no. Parents, you are the first teacher. You are. And if you didn't know that, you know that now. Okay, I digress. Oh my goodness, I digress. I digress. I digress. I could only imagine what that woman went through. Mm. During a conversation with named a specific the teacher named a specific student on the list, but did not provide the list, authorities confirmed. The principal then advised the teacher to leave and not return to the school pending investigation. And that right there was dangerous. The The principal had no business doing that because the woman was in a state of mind that was not in a good state. And to let that teacher just walk out of there, no, she needed immediate psychological psych. The teacher needed immediate psychological help right then and there. And schools have power to be able to give students and teachers what and faculty or staff what they need immediately because they have federal funding, and that woman should have been placed in a psychiatric ward to get the help that she needed. I know the stress which she's under, especially elementary. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, Lord have mercy. Especially elementary schools. The outrageous things that go. Let me go on with this article. Mm, 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 mm. Shouldn't have never let that teacher leave. Okay, the East Chicago Police Department said that it was not notified by the school until approximately 4 hours later after the incident, and the teacher was freely allowed to leave the premises. However, once officers were notified, then immediately notified the criminal investigation division, which obtained an emergency detention order for the educator from the Lake County Prosecutor's Office. You know, this 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 principal, you did the wrong thing. You let somebody wander around for 4 hours and then you call the police. No, 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 no. You ought to be suspended. In my humble opinion, that was a wrong call. Why did you not call the school council? You should have stopped the school council what they were doing and have that teacher get immediate help. That was the wrong thing. And if you still have your job, I want to know why. Because your decision making as a leader is faulty and not good, reckless, reckless leadership. In my humble opinion, there's something terribly wrong there. Mm. Okay, Corrasquillo Torres was taken into custody by the East Chicago Police Department on Thursday at approximately 11:15 a.m. without incident. It is unclear if Carrasquillo Torres has obtained legal representation by the investigation is still ongoing, and authorities said no further details about the case or statement regarding the incident would be made at this time. Of course, they're not going to make any other statements because the principal and assistant principal did a horrible job. That right there should have been taken care of immediately. As soon as that student went there, you don't know if that teacher would have went postal, an old term, postal, right then and there. Look, what do you think? Do you think I'm going a little bit too far, or I'm being too sensitive, or maybe I might need to ease up on the administration and the teacher because the teacher had no bit. Look, some people who become educators have this idea of what education's about. Then you have people who come there simply for a paycheck and you only work 180 days out of the year and you have the rest of the time off, who really do not have a vested interest in the communities in which they teach. They teach here, but then they live someplace else, which for me I have a problem with. Because by you being a teacher, you must have a vested interest. You should live where you work. When you're a teacher, you should be around the students in which you teach. That's just my philosophy on it. Because teachers make a community. If a community's jacked up, look at the schools, look at the teachers, look at the administration, look at the superintendent, look from the superintendent on down, and then you'll see where the issue lies. Okay, let me go ahead and get off of this because I'm going to really get upset and really start ranting. On that note, tell me how you feel. Just tell me. I want to thank you for stopping by because you could be anywhere, but you decide to stay here with me and listen to my video because politics runs the world. Now, whether if you agree with the politics or not, put something down in the comment section. Whether if you agree or disagree with me, that is okay. We can agree to disagree, or we can agree to agree. So please help me get to 500 subscribers, and then help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for stopping by.